Hi guys, this is Tim Webb, Certified EPDM Administrator for equivaQ Software, a certified SOLIDWORKS solution partner. Today I'm going to demonstrate a very basic SOLIDWORKS assembly with a bill of materials that can be routed from engineering to supply management. That's a functionality called the Named BOM. So let's get started. We're going to log in as Josh. He's someone from engineering. We're going to navigate to folder inside EPDM, where I know we have an assembly and a drawing. Let's first take a look at the preview, and it's just a basic bracket with some lag bolts and nuts in it. Look at the data card, it's got part number, it's got a description. And we'll look at the bill of materials. This is your computed BOM built directly from the CAD reference data. What I'm interested in though is the drawing. The drawing has a bill of materials on it also, this computed BOM. We've also got a drawing that, we have a bill of materials on the face of the drawing. It's called bracket analysis. Then we've got another one called SOLIDWORKS bill of materials. But what I'm interested in right now is the computed BOM. It's in the indented format. And then what we want to do is indented and then the at tab, as built, show selected. And what the show selected does is it actually will show the top, the parent and the child relationships built in here. So we want to keep that visible for the supply management team. So then what we're going to do is we're going to save this bill of materials out as a named bill of materials. We're going to do a save as, and then we're going to give it, this is the file name, and it's going to have the extension of BOM. And we also have a workflow that's established for this so that we can route this BOM, this file type, called the BOM workflow. It's going to have an initial state of created, route to supply management, then we can return it to engineering or route it back to supply management. We can then close it and then we can reactivate it, return it to work. And then you notice our file selection didn't actually change. We actually see all the files. We don't see that BOM file. What you have to do at this point is you have to go to display. Instead of show files, we need to show bill of materials. Alright, there it is, and it shows that it's checked out by Josh, and then we've got our columns down here with all the data built right into it. So we've switched to the BOM view, and then what we're going to do is we need to actually check this in. Josh has it checked out. Let's go ahead and check it in. Created, named BOM. Then from here, what we can do is then transition it over to supply management, route BOM to supply management. Created and ready for long lead item purchase. And we want to have an early view available to supply management in our process lifecycle as early as possible. Click OK. Now the state changes on this file to BOM in supply management. One thing about the workflow for the bill of materials on these named BOMs is that once it's been routed to another department, Josh, as an engineer, no longer has the ability to change state or check out. So he's basically it's sitting in their queue until they're done with it. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to log in as someone from supply management whose name is Gary. Log out as Josh. Log in as Gary. Then we're going to navigate back to that same folder, Engineering Palmer. See our files there, no problem, but supply management can't do anything with these files. We're going to change our display, so instead of showing files, we show BOMs. And then from here, Gary, as in supply management, can take ownership of it, it can check it out, and then make changes to this bill of materials, such as adding columns, adding rows, or adding quantities, descriptions. We have some sample data that we're going to go ahead and add to this bill of materials, and I'm going to go ahead and pause the video in just a moment, but I'm going to start the first one. So the first one we're going to have to do is we're going to have to insert a row below, and then we're going to give it a part number. We don't have to give it a file name. If we have a file name, we can. We don't have to. So we'll go ahead and enter the first one, which is going to be the part number is 1372603. Tab. This is a miscellaneous, following our company's nomenclature, miscellaneous Loctite. And then the material doesn't matter at this point, but this quantity is going to be as required, AR, But you notice that we don't have unit of measure here, so we need to add that column. So what we're going to do is right click here, insert column to the right. We're going to call this column a variable that we already have, unit of measure, UOM. Okay, and then under our unit of measure, as required, this is going to be ounces. Okay, at this point I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to add a few more lines. I'm also going to add a child row so that I can have a hierarchy built right into that as well, so that our supply management buyers will know what belongs to other parts. Okay, we're back from pausing after entering the data. We've entered a few line items, and then we have some child line items below the 152605. And then what we've done is we've added quantities, we've added unit of measure. Now, one thing that supply management is often interested in for record keeping purposes or other purposes is to have a column that gives item numbers. We're going to start at line 10 and increment the items by 10. We've inserted the position numbers or line item numbers, but the thing is that supply management, they may not like this to be called position number, so let's update that. It needs to be called item number, so let's change this to item, following our company's vernacular, item no. Very good. Let's change the width on it a little bit, and then from here we just need to save it, and it's good. We'll go ahead and check this back in. Added UOM column, item numbers, and we'll just call this as required line items for manufacturing. Those are going to be the items that we've added. Alright, our bill of materials is now checked back into EPDM, so we need to go ahead and let's take a look at this as engineering. We'll slide down to that folder. Change our display again to show bill of materials. And from here, we see the updates that have been made, which is nice. However, we can't check it out or change state. So if Josh needs to make an update in the engineering department, let's say we're going to remove a lag bolt in one of those nuts, then one of the things we've got to do is have the bill of materials routed back to us. Let's just quickly log out as Josh, log back in as Gary. Let's dive into the Palmer folder, change our display, show bill of materials. Go ahead and grab this, transition it, change state to engineering. Back to engineering under ECO or change notification or change request number 123456. That way we've got it in the history. Gary can no longer, in supply management, can't change the state or do any checkouts. Those permissions can be configured based on whatever your process needs are. Just like routing any other file type inside Enterprise PDM, checking out any other file type as well. Just going to log back in as Josh. Slide in here to Palmer. Change our display. And notice we've got the file now. It's in engineering. We now have the capability to check it out and change state again. But the first thing we need to do is go ahead and show files. And we're going to update this assembly. Like I was saying, this bill of materials, we need to demonstrate the functionality of having automatic updates. So what we're going to do is check out the assembly under this ECO 123456. We're just going to simply delete those two guys. Simple enough. Let's go ahead and slide over to our drawing. Make drawing from part. Yep, let's go ahead and open that file. Here it is. Now our bill of materials has updated. The quantity has changed to 2, and the lag bolt has changed to 2 as well. That's exactly what we were looking for. Let's go ahead and save these two from the EPDM add-in. We will check those back in. Removed one lag bolt and one nut per ECO or change notification or change request, whatever it's called with your specific company, your process needs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's in the history. Check it in. Let's close out SOLIDWORKS. Slide back over to our bill of materials. Now our bill of materials, that's our computed BOM. We've got our CAD BOMs. These are on the face of the drawing. And then we have our named BOM. The named BOM is what we're after. Notice right now we still have a quantity of 3 and 3 on our lag bolts and those nuts. The reason why is because this file, this named BOM, needs to have the updates pushed to it. Even though we've updated the assembly, we need to go ahead and check out the bill of materials, and then we need to change our version. Let's go take a look at version, removed one lag bolt and all this. There we go. Now our quantity should have changed to 2 and 2. Let's take a look here and here. Did anybody notice that the columns have resorted for us? That's okay, we can deal with it, but let's go ahead and double click the item number column. If you double click it, you can then sort by it. So you double click it again, it's up and down. Anyway, this is now back to the order that we had in it earlier, and we see we've got an updated lag bolt, updated nut, those quantities have changed. Any of the changes that need to happen down here based on that ECO can also happen. Let's just say that our Kapton tape, we realize that we're now actually going to use 10 inches, and we'll go ahead and save that change. That way you've got a reference, you can go find out what changes were made if you need. Now our named BOM is back inside Enterprise PDM. It's updated with our quantities that we changed a moment ago. Again, we need to route this back to supply management. Okay. Maybe your workflow is set up so that an email notification gets sent to the supply management so they know that this bill of materials has been updated, but that completes the process. Let's go ahead and log out as Josh and log right back in as Gary from supply management. We're just about to wrap this up. Change our display, show bills. Make sure we have the latest version. It's already set for us, and the quantity has been updated for the lag bolts, the nuts, as well as our Kapton tape is now going to be set for 10 inches. That concludes the demonstration of taking that EPDM bill of materials to the next level, to where we actually use the built-in functionality of the named BOM to create a named bill of materials, then to make changes to it and route it to the supply management, where they can add columns, they can add rows, and then also they can send it back for an engineering change based on whatever your process needs are, but then route that data back over from engineering to supply management. Completes the loop. You send a module that gets sanitized and then run through your process. So that concludes the demonstration for today. This is Tim Webb, Certified EPDM Administrator with equivaQ Software and Certified SOLIDWORKS Solution Partner. Thanks for watching, guys.